Company is projected to generate free cash flows of 10 million per year for the next 2 years. Okay, so that's our short-term projections, followed by a stable growth of 2.5% per year in perpetuity. So that's our terminal phase, starting from the end of year 2, beginning of year 3. Company's cost of capital, so WACC, weighted average cost of capital, is 9%. $5 million of debt, $1 million of cash, and 12 million shares outstanding. What's the stock price, or what should be the stock price? All right, step 1, as always, with DCF stock valuation questions, is draw the timeline and put the cash flows we know on the timeline. So we have this 2-year period with $10 million in free cash flow per year, followed by, so this is where our constant growth phase, terminal phase starts, right? G equals 2.5% growth rate from that point on forever, right? And cost of capital is of 9%. So that's our timeline. So what's the next step? What do we do? What we do is we need to get rid of this perpetuity. And for that, we have our terminal value approach. With terminal value, we place ourselves at the end of that short-term phase, before the terminal phase, right? The projected cash flows phase. And then, so we're just before the stable growth is starting. So this is going to be end of year 2. That's where the terminal value is, which is the discounted value of all future cash flows. And the formula is the next year's cash flows divided by the discount rate minus the stable growth rate, right? Next year's cash flows will be 2.5% over the year 2 cash flows. So this is going to be FCFF2 times 1 plus G divided by WACC minus G. So this is going to be 10 million times 1 plus 0.025 divided by 0.09 is our discount rate, WACC, minus 0.025, the growth rate, right? And this gives us a terminal value of 10 million to 10 times 1.025 divided by open 0.09 minus 0.025 gives us a terminal value of 157.69 million roughly. And let me store this STO1. Okay, so that's the terminal value, the discounted value of all these cash flows growing in perpetuity at a rate of 2.5%. So now let's redraw the timeline. We just got rid of that growing perpetuity. So what do we have left? We still have the 10 million from year 1. And then we still have the 10 million from year 2, which was not part of the perpetuity formula. Plus, we have the terminal value that captures discounted value of everything after that. So that's TV2. And what we're going to do is, since we now have single cash flows left, we're going to discount them one by one. And that was going to give us the enterprise value of this company is 10 million in 1 year, discounted at 1 plus 0.09 for 1 year, plus the 10 million from the second year, plus the terminal value we computed above, 157.69, together discounted at 1 plus 0.09 raised to 2, discounted for 2 years, right? So let's see what this is. So we already have the terminal value in the calculator here. Let me add the second 10 million and then divide by 1.09 raised to 2 square equals 141.14. So let me store that STO1. So this one is, the second term is 141.14. Let me do the first one, 10 divided by 1.09. That's the present value of the first one. This plus recall 1 together 150.32 million for the enterprise value, right? But this is asking for the stock price, so we need to walk the bridge from enterprise value to the stock price. Equity value of this company, so the value of just the shares outstanding, is going to be the enterprise value, which is the entire value of the firm's operations, minus the value of debt. The creditors to the company own a claim in that enterprise value. All the interest payments and all that stuff that need to be made to debt holders will have to come out of this value. So minus debt plus cash, because enterprise value captures just the operations, but cash has value as well. Or we can think of this as the subtracting just the net debt, right? Debt minus cash. And that is 150.32 minus debt was given to us as 5 million minus 5 plus 1 gives us 146.32 million as the value of equity, the total value of all the shares owned by the stockholders. This is asking for stock price. So share price per share. So we need to find, this is the total value, the entire pie, and there are 12 million shares outstanding. So share price is going to be equity value. So for example, if this was a publicly traded company, we would call this equity value. That's the market capitalization, right? Same thing. The total value of the company's equity divided by the shares outstanding, meaning number of shares outstanding. So that's 146.32 million divided by how many shares outstanding? 12 million. So 146.32 divided by 12 gives me 12.19 per share. And then if this is a publicly traded company, I can look at my valuation. Then I can compare it to what it's trading at. And if it's significantly different, then I can think of it as there's some investment value here, because I think the company is worth different than what the market seems to value. Or instead, I can also question my assumptions and say maybe I got something wrong in valuation. Okay, but this gives us the estimated share price, fundamental value of each share for this company, based on all these forecasts and projections.